Alright, so hey everyone, welcome back to the stream. Tonight we're going to be diving back into Reactor, blocks, and we're going to create that deep, warm bass from Tems, Me, and You. If you don't know what Reactor is a sound design tool that we use to shape sounds and design soundscapes. So used in cinematic soundscapes, production, music, and anything you want to use sound effects or sound design in. So we're going to jump into Reactor, and that's our first step. So when you open up Reactor, you're going to have three different sections. One is the play section, one is the patch section, and one is the build section. We're going to jump into the build section because it gives us the most flexibility and allows us to build out synth samplers, effects, and sound design tools. We're going to open that up, and when we open up Reactor, we're going to keep it simple. We're going to only be using Reactor blocks today. No external plugins are needed for this. And if you love sound design, make sure to like, subscribe, and drop a comment if you want more breakdowns like this. So let's get started. Before we patch, we're going to break down the sound real quick. And it's going to be a deep sub bass. If you heard the song before, it's like a deep warbling sound kind of bass. Slightly plucky, with some warm like saturation and glide for movement. So let's get into it and let's build it out. So alright, first step, we're going to start up, we're going to grab our oscillator. So we're going to go into our bento box collection. We're going to bring in an oscillator, we're going to bring in a note in, and we're going to use a sine wave for this. Good thing it's already set on a sine. And if we want more texture, we can blend another wave into it. And I think we can go ahead and do that. Just going to duplicate our oscillator. Going to make two oscillators here. So now we have two oscillators here. And this is going to be the core of our sound. This is going to create our sound generation and going to give us some extra harmonics when we change this to a triangle wave. So I've changed that second one to a triangle wave. Going to give us some more harmonics. Going to give us a richer sound. Going to give us some extra vibes in our sound. So let's shape it. So this bass has a short and punchy attack. So we do need a VCA. And the VCA is just going to give us an amp so that we can control our final output. Our final output with an envelope, so ADSR, attack, decay, sustain, and release. So it gives us control over time and movement with the sound. So we're going to connect this up. Going to bring in a mixer so we can blend both of those actual components together. So we have a mixer here. We're blending both of our oscillators. We've connected our pitch. I'm kind of doing it backwards, but it'll all make sense once we get some sound through this. So I'm going to organize my panel. If I'm going a little fast, just be sure to pause the video, or we can watch the replays and get a little more sense of what I'm doing. I'm going to turn up the modulation depth for this, and then so I'm going to configure this. So I'm just going to get sound to come out of this. Okay, hopefully you can hear that now. Just have to fix my windows. Yep, okay. So in order to get the sound, we're going to now, we're going to add, where was I? So we added an envelope, we added a VCA, and we're going to be patching this together, and we're going to make this a super smooth bass. So we'll go with the sine wave, we've got that, and we've got the triangle for some extra harmonics, and we're shaping the bass now. We're adding some punchy attack, we needed a VCA and an envelope so that we could shape it, and this is going to be called our amp ADSR because it's going into our amplifier. And we're going to give it a short, snappy attack, which we have here. Decay around 300 milliseconds. These aren't exact numbers. It's more of a feel thing because every single patch that you put together in Reactor or any modular synthesis setup is going to be different every time you patch it together. Just like if you were to recall on a console, an analog console, or mix desk, it would be slightly different sounding unless you put the exact same settings. Even then, it's still going to be slightly different. So that's the good thing about the digital world. You can get the exact settings that you had prior. So we're going to set our sustain so it doesn't ring out too loud. So we'll give it a low sustain. So over time, how the sound sustains, it's not long. We're going to give release just enough to avoid a clicking noise. So I think I've avoided the clicking noise, so I think we're safe with the... Oh, there we go. So that you can hear it now. You can hear the clicking noise. That's very obvious, more obvious. And if I move it back to around 200 milliseconds, maybe let's double that. You can hold down Shift to fine tune your controls, just like in Ableton. Okay, and then we've tweaked that ADSR, and next let's shape the tone. So the bass isn't bright in this song, so we'll need to roll off some highs using a low pass filter. I'm going to add in a filter right here, and I'm going to add it on the end of our chain in between our mix output and our amplifier. So let's just make sure our mixer is working by cutting off some high frequencies. So yes, it is functioning. So we can bring that back into our actual whole modular setup, and we can use our low cut filter, low pass filter, and we'll cut off around 100 to 250 kilohertz or hertz. Over 1,000 it becomes kilohertz. Under 1,000 they're called hertz. So you can see that we're going at 754, 900, and once we hit 1,000 they'll become kilohertz. 1 kilohertz, that's 1,000 kilohertz. So we're gonna do 100 to 250 hertz. So we're gonna bring it down. So we'll do about, let's do 165, and then we can add some slight resonance so that gives us some warmth, and add a little envelope modulation for a little punch. So we can do we'll keep it there actually. So we're going to add a little gliding movement to this so the bass has a smooth glide between notes. And so we'll add some portamento or glide. We're using a glide module or just this one right here. So you hear the notes gliding between each other. That's more staccato, more legato when we do that. So we got a little glide there. And now we can add some saturation. So we'll go to our effects. We'll bring in a little bit of saturation and we will wrap up our sound. Go into the block section. We'll grab some driver and we'll put that onto our outputs for our left and right channels. We don't want too much. So I don't want to get a copyright strike by using the song. So we're going to check it out. So turn the glide down a little bit. Make it a little louder. Okay, so let's keep going with this. Try to make it a little bit better and shape our sound. So with a few tweaks here and there, we can get in the ballpark of the sound, and you can even listen to the track and make it and tweak your sound as you go. And there you have it, pretty much a deep warm bass built with that inspiration of Tems, Me and You. And you can take a listen to the song as well and try to rebuild this in Reactor and see how your version comes out. If you found this useful, drop a comment on what sound we should tackle next. And if you want to take your sound design skills to the next level, be sure to check out link in the description. And yeah, thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you in the next stream. Peace.